Have you ever played video games and wished you were better? Has this ever been you? Well, it definitely has been me. And I was tired of losing to people that were better than me. So I had a genius idea. What if I cheated? Now, cheats already exist, and they basically work by having a computer track where the enemy is and then moving your cursor onto that enemy. Now, I don't want to do that. One, because I don't know how to, and two, because I would probably get banned if I did. So I have a much worse and harder to implement solution. What if I built a robot? Now, what if this robot stared longingly into my eyes, but it was actually just tracking where on my screen I was looking? Well, if it knew where I was looking, then it could just move my mouse to that location, and boom! I'd basically be aimbotting people with my eyes. The idea is pretty simple. All I have to do is track my eyes with this webcam, then use algorithms to convert that gaze into a spot on the screen, take that spot and translate it to mouse coordinates, relay those coordinates to a microcontroller that controls a custom-designed robot that can quickly move anywhere in an XY coordinate system, and then actually move that robot there quickly and Okay, anyways, the first step is to actually design the robot, and then we need to build it. Here's the carriage that'll carry the mouse. As you can see, it's perfect. Then we'll use these motors to actuate the carriage. Why stepper motors, you may ask? Well, it's because I'm cheap. I thought they came in packs of 3. But I mean, come on, look at this image. Doesn't it seem like 1 pack means 1 pack of 3? But anyways, if any smart engineers ask, why are you
using stepper motor?
I'm just gonna say it's because the motors are accurate. You see this guy right here? It's fat and ugly, and we can't have that. Well, we can actually have ugly, but we can't have fat. So here's the replacement. Now, you're probably wondering what this is. And we need a way to grab onto the mouse. This is that way. When you play games, you move your mouse. But what happens when you move your mouse and run out of real estate on your mouse pad? Well, you don't think about it, but you lift your mouse up and recenter it. So this little contraption grabs the mouse with these set screws, and then these 2 solenoids lift the entire mount. Alright, the bottom carriage looks like this. Let's pop that hood though. Okay, so this motor spins this rail using this belt, but here's the catch. It doesn't work. Okay, here's why I think that's happening. Okay, this belt has these teeth which help it catch the pulley, but it means it's also getting caught on the aluminum when we pull it up and down. So let's see if we can't come up with a solution for that. Okay, that seems to work better. Not great, but better. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. You were probably busy admiring my cable management skills. Anyways, I brought you here to show off what I've done so far. I know, pretty impressive. Well, what are we doing? I want to test out this plate and see how quickly I can get it to move back and forth. I'm worried it's not going to be quick enough, and if that's the case, that means I have more work to do, which I really don't want to do. So, let's see. Alright, I wrote this code, so there's a good chance this does not work. But, let's see what happens. Okay, damn, hit a wall. Let's back it on up. Nice, look at that. Alright, didn't break it, but that was pretty slow. Let's hope we can adjust the mouse sensitivity and that will make it quicker. Because these motors ain't pumping harder, and they're not getting any faster unless I make this gantry better, and that is definitely not gonna happen. Okay, so I tried to do one of those quirky snaps, but I forgot that I didn't take a pre-snap video, and I don't feel like moving everything again. So hopefully this works. Okay, I'm assuming that looked really cool in post-production. Okay, so I did some building off camera, and I know what you're thinking. This is the most impressive thing you've ever seen. And yes, I humbly agree. So, we have one carriage that moves in this axis, and another that moves in this axis. That should allow us to move our mouse anywhere on the screen. I also added these limit switches. When pressed, they tell the Arduino,
"Hey, I've been pressed."
But why do we want a switch that yells at Arduino, you may ask? Well, these motors are basically blind. I can tell them how many steps to move, but they have no idea of knowing where they are in space. Think of a man walking with a blindfold on. You can tell him how many steps to take forwards or backwards, but he still has no idea where he is relative to anything. So, if you tell him to count how many steps till he reaches a wall, he can then count his steps to figure out exactly where he is relative to these walls. Except, instead of a man, we have a motor. And instead of walls, we have these limit switches. So now, we can create a calibration sequence. Ta-da! Okay, check it out. Now that it's calibrated, we can literally move it wherever we want using the power of code. So, now we can give it coordinates on the screen and it'll move to that position in real life. Is it super fast? No. Is it super accurate? Also no. Is it good enough for me? Yeah. The next step will be to have it move to where I'm looking on the screen instead of move to where I'm clicking. But, you know, how hard can that be? Okay, look at this eye tracker I found online. It only cost me $5. And it works kind of okay-ish. It's not terrible. For example, I'm looking right here. And it's like sort of close, or like, that's pretty good. That's, well, so it's not terrible. In some spots it's better than others. Like the corners it's kind of tough. Anyways, now, could I have saved myself $5 and built an eye tracker myself? Yes. Did I attempt to? Maybe. This eye tracker is actually pretty sick because they have an SDK that lets me print the exact pixel coordinates of where it thinks I'm looking, and I can just feed those into my robot. So, similar to how I clicked and that would move my gantry to that position, now I can just look at the screen and feed those coordinates into my robot. Okay, I made some updates. Let's see how this works. Alright, so first we have to calibrate the gantry so that it knows how big the grid is that it can work with. And once it finishes that, we can actually use it. Okay, the green kind of dot here is where I'm looking. And then this red dot is where my cursor is at. So right now I'm moving it manually, but it'll get moved by the mouse in the gantry once we arm the actual system. So let me go ahead and recenter the movement, and then let's go ahead and start. Alright, so, okay, slight hiccup. The crap wasn't working, but I fixed it, and hopefully it works now. It's centered, as you can see. So let's give this a go. Oh, I'm nervous. Alright, let's give this a go. Okay, it works pretty well. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. It's kind of slow, but it's working really well. Like it tracks it super nicely. Alright, that's actually pretty cool. The problem is I can't look at how close it is because it adjusts where I'm looking. But that's pretty sick. Alright, I think we might be ready to test it out on a game here. But that's super cool. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, as it turns out, it's a lot harder to actually be able to click with your keyboard than I was expecting. So for now, I'm just gonna click with this mouse, but you have to trust me that I'm not cheating. Okay, I found this game. I guess it's like a shooter, so we'll go ahead and give this a chance. Okay, here we go. I'm only using the mouse to click, I swear. Okay, it's actually working pretty good. Like, surprisingly good. There we go. Our first victims. Oh, I think we got a hit. Okay, that's an assist. There we go. Next one up. There we go. That's an assist. Alright. Still not a kill. Here we go. Alright. I think it's working really well, actually. It's slow, that's the problem. So I'll like look at someone, and then it takes a second to get there, but I've like adjusted my eyes, if that makes sense. Like, so, okay, for example, alright, I'm looking at this couch. But see, it's getting there a little bit slow is the problem. And then it stops working, and I don't know why. Like, right now it's not moving, even though I'm looking at this part of the screen. Why is it doing that? Alright, we're finally back at it. Basically it was hitting the triggers. Okay. It was hitting the triggers, and the trigger's like a hard stop, and it was getting confused about what to do, but I fixed it. It's a lot of complicated code, I don't really need to go into it, but just know that I'm really smart and I figured it out. Anyways, let's get back into it. I think we're gonna see a lot better performance this time around, but yeah, don't expect anything too crazy. Okay, we are armed and ready to go. It's working pretty good right now, actually. Okay, no one so far. Okay, there we go. Alright, all of a sudden everyone got really good. Normally it's like 5-year-olds that are playing this game. It's like super easy. But that person killed me in like 5 seconds. I mean, the thing is, it's like tracking my eyes decently well and it's not freaking out as much. There we go. Okay! Dude, what is this? Oh my god, dude. Oh, hold on, we gotta recenter. Don't these people understand that I need to recenter my mouse? I feel like the best way to probably do it is to like sit from afar and then just snipe people. So, like this. Come on. There we go. We're so close. Oh my gosh. Alright. I don't know why we have to turn all the way around. There we go. Oh! Their first official kill. There we go. Yeah. I would be nervous if I were these guys. Here we go. Oh! Alright. Things are starting to spice up. I think it's just a practice thing. I gotta get better at aiming with my eyes. That's the real limit here, not the machine. Alright, here's an idea. We're gonna stand right here. And we're gonna scout these guys out. This is so dumb. Right there. That was pretty accurate. That was a decent kill. So the problem is, I forgot to make the solenoids work so that they lift the mouse when it recenters. So now when I recenter, it drags the mouse with it, and it makes me look in the complete opposite direction. But I'm way too lazy right now to incorporate that. I mean, it would be so easy. I even set up all the diodes and everything. I just have to plug it in. I just really don't feel like it. Right there. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, we're recentering. Hold on, give me a second. Good thing we got some patient enemies here. Okay, dude. We got friggin' ninja in the game. What the hell was that? They're gonna start building in my Roblox game. I spy with my little eye. Dude, I'm sorry, but what is going on? These guys are so much better than I was used to yesterday. Dude, it's like they know I'm cheating it. This is so dumb. I'm supposed to be the one that has the advantage. Okay, I'm just getting blown up by freaking drones, dude. What is this? Alright, we need to find like a 9-year-old kid who's playing and like doesn't know how to use their mouse. That's like the only type of person I can stand against. But we got the freaking FaZe clan playing Roblox tonight. Here we go. Alright, you know what? I almost was able to lock onto them. I think that's in progress in the right direction. Here we go. Yes! Finally! Dude, I think I went like 10-0 just now. I mean 0-10. Oh! Well, that's game. You know what? I got 4 kills, 2 assists. That's not bad. I feel like... Alright, what is going on? So, that went pretty well. In fact, I think if the people I've been playing against were standing still, I would have had a serious shot of getting more kills than deaths. Here's the thing. There's about 10 million things I could do to make that robot better, but I don't want to, because there's more meaningful things I could be doing with my life, like playing video games instead. So I'm not going to. Anyways, I have more videos making other things that, believe it or not, work worse than this. So you should check them out. You should also like and subscribe and leave a comment. Bye.